What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tech News Day.
We got a lot of exciting, modern, current technology news to talk about this week, but first, let's talk about something only 90s kids remember.
That's me!
CDs.
Oh,
Compact discs.
yeah.
Now, this is gonna blow your mind. What? But the way listening to music used to work is you'd fire up the old terrestrial FM radio, you'd hear that latest Smash Mouth track, and then you'd head down to the store, maybe the Sam Goody, to dig through a rack and see if they had that Smash Mouth CD that you were looking for, the one that contained the one Smash Mouth song you wanted, and around 11 other Smash Mouth songs you'd basically be gambling on.
Well, I'll be the one to say it. You were a winner, because every Smash Mouth song is a hit.
That's right. You would then take that hit-filled disc up to the cash register and pay sometimes up to $20 for it, and then you'd spend the next 10 minutes hoping that your fingernails were sharp enough to open the goddamn thing. And that Smash Mouth album then ended up either on a large shelf specifically designed to hold CDs, or the disc itself was put into a big, heavy booklet that went in the glove box of your car.
And got stolen probably a couple of times.
Quite often.
Compared to what came before this, though, the CD was quite convenient and revolutionary. Records were too damn big to take most places and couldn't be played in a moving car, although I'm sure some people tried. Tapes featured noticeably shittier audio quality and were prone to being eaten and destroyed by tape players.
And children.
Yeah. CDs were the beginning of digital music made out of ones and zeros, and also the last step in physical media, because eventually, thanks to MP3 compression and the internet and portable MP3 players, you could walk around with your entire music library in your pocket on a tiny, convenient little hard drive. More music than you could ever possibly want to listen to.
Wow!
Yeah. And anyways, eventually even that gave way to streaming music from the cloud, and often not even actually owning music, but rather paying a monthly fee to access virtually all music in existence and listen to it from any connected device. We've come a long way, baby.
That's right. Let's both have a Virginia Slim. Anyway, the point we're getting at is neither of us have really even thought about compact discs in years. If we really like a piece of music and want to have a physical connection to it, we'll just pick up a vinyl copy of it.
Yeah.
But most of the time, streaming not only does the job, but it does it better and cheaper and more efficiently than we could have ever even imagined 20 years ago. And yet, turns out CDs never actually died. It turns out that every time we've gone to the Best Buy or the Target to pick up a new hard drive or HDMI cable or what have you, there was still an entire section of the store dedicated to selling compact discs, though that section has gradually gotten smaller and smaller. That's gonna change soon though, and it could likely be the final death blow to CDs.
Is it because CDs would sometimes get jostled inside their players and get a scratch, making them almost impossible to listen to, Elliot?
Ugh. Well, no, Sony fixed that with their skip-proof Sony Discman.
I had one with 60 seconds of
Like,
skip-proof
check this
technology
shit
on
out.
it. Now, anyways, the final death blow is this. According to a report last week from Billboard, Best Buy has notified their music suppliers that they'll be ending all CD sales in their stores on July 1st, while continuing to sell vinyl for at least the next 2 years alongside their turntable offering. Meanwhile, Target has apparently told their suppliers of both CDs and movies that soon, instead of buying inventory in bulk, they're switching to a consignment model, where the suppliers only get paid once Target actually sells the product.
Brilliant.
It is smart on their part. Now, basically, they'll keep selling music and movies as long as they assume no financial risk in doing so. They're instead passing the risk onto the suppliers and manufacturers.
Who I'm sure are overjoyed at this.
Oh, they're loving it, Elliot.
Oh, so you want us to just give you things, and we'll just wait to get paid. And so, in a lot of cases,
you're
just
telling
never
me,
get paid.
and you're telling me I don't have a choice in the matter?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So there's still no word from America's other huge retail behemoth, Walmart, although back in 2014, they did reduce their CD inventory by half. So
It's only contemporary Christian and country music.
That's the thing. Walmart is always going to have an audience for people who bought their last piece of tech gear in 1994, and they're going to keep buying CDs because how the hell else am I supposed to do the music?
Much like CDs, I didn't know that Michael W. Smith was still making music, but he
he
probably is.
Crooning away. Yeah, Walmart, I mean, they're on the same trajectory. Back in 2014, they cut their CD inventory in half. It would not be all that surprising to hear about them adopting at least Target's new consignment plan in the near future, now that that's a precedent.
Yeah.
The idea of physical media dying off is admittedly a bit sad. I got a lot of nice memories of clawing through those racks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the truth is that it's not gonna die, it's just becoming more niche. Vinyl's doing great among music aficionados. Movie buffs are gonna keep buying those 4K Ultra HD high dynamic range Blu-rays to get that whole theater experience at home.
And the bonus features.
Oh yeah, I wanna see deleted scenes. Basic consumption.
Unrated version. That was the way to sell DVDs 10 years ago.
Unrated.
American Pie, unrated.
Everyone's tits come out.
Except it was just the fact that it was a cut that the MPAA didn't see.
It was never submitted to the MPAA. Technically, this is unrated.
Yeah.
ETC, unrated.
Unrated.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Too hot for the MPAA. But yeah, basic consumption is, you can't stop it. It's all about streaming these days, and that's a good thing because we've now all got access to content that we'd previously never, ever possibly know about at the touch of a button.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, Ellie, but Walmart, they actually have one of those things like an Alexa or a Google Home, except it runs on clean coal. And and when you ask it to play music, it just goes ahead and orders a CD for you that you can pick up down at your local box store.
And you say, hey Wally. Hey Wally. I'm feeling patriotic, Wally. And then Wally's like, are you gonna stand or what?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, sorry, Wally.
Sorry.
And then it plays the national anthem.
Yeah, it actually reports you to the NSA if you're not standing. Anytime it plays, every morning it plays the national anthem, and then once before you go to sleep, just like the old TV channels used to do. And if you're not standing, you get reported to the NSA. But also, make sure you open a window before you run the Wally. It says clean coal, but
the coal is clean. It has been scrubbed down, but
beautiful.
It's still, you still need ventilation.
But anyways, let's move on from the past and into the present. We got to check in on man of the future, Elon Musk, because he's been having a very, very busy week. That flamethrower that we told you about, which really isn't a flamethrower, but a propane torch shoved on top of an airsoft gun, it unsurprisingly sold out, hitting its limit of 20,000 pre-orders in just a few short days. The flamethrower was, of course, a bit controversial, with some calling the whole idea of a toy gun that shoots fire dangerous and irresponsible.
Oh, come on, Dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, one state legislator here in the People's Republic of California already said that he's going to try to pass a law specifically making the sale of that boring company flamethrower illegal because he hates fun.
What a loser.
And also, yeah, it is essentially a toy being more... I see both sides.
Owning a flamethrower in California is like giving a flamethrower to someone in a fireworks store.
It is irresponsible. But yeah, also Musk said on Twitter that shipping a flamethrower to other countries is proving to be a bit tricky, but it's fine. He's got this.
Yeah.
He said, apparently some customs agencies are saying they won't allow shipment of anything called a flamethrower. To solve this, we're renaming it not a flamethrower, or maybe temperature enhancement device.
Okay.
TED.
Yeah. Sure.
Hello, Mr. Customs. You had all the clues. It was really a flamethrower this whole time.
Maybe they should just take it all apart and let the consumer build it and then accidentally kill themselves.
That's the thing. Literally the two pieces that they're using.
Yeah, just two separate things that
things
are,
you can both buy on like Amazon and not have any trouble.
Just buy one of those camping grills and turn it all the way up and point it at people.
Yeah.
Anyways, if Elon Musk's dumb flamethrower trolling has you shouting, "Get back to work, Elon!" He's actually been busy otherwise, so don't worry about that. Following Tesla's success at building the world's largest battery farm in South Australia to store wind and solar power and avoid the region's rampant blackouts, Musk has unveiled his next step down under, creating a virtual power plant by installing solar panels and batteries in at least 50,000 homes, with each home contributing their surplus electricity back to the grid. Participating households won't have to pay anything up front, with the whole venture being funded by the government, and they're estimating that South Australia residents will eventually be paying 30% less on their energy bills.
Oi!
But the clean coal, there's so much of it.
Australia. Not down there. Not down there in land of
They need to figure out how to get energy out of mud.
Then there's Elon's other company, SpaceX. They launched a test rocket this week, which itself isn't all that noteworthy since they're launching rockets constantly nowadays. But this one's the most powerful rocket in operation in the entire world right now. It's the Falcon Heavy. It's made out of 3 Falcon 9 rockets, and its payload is Musk's own car, a red Tesla Roadster, with a spacesuit-wearing test dummy in the driver's seat. And now that car is off floating around in space for the next billion years.
Yeah, however long.
Just up there. Oh God, I think I'm lost.
I am interested to see how it looks, considering I the layman thought that they would be landing this on Mars
No.
for a cool photo shoot or something and leaving it there. It will be orbiting Mars.
There's like a tiny, tiny percent chance that its trajectory could put it on the trajectory of Mars and crash into Mars.
Yeah.
Which would be cool.
Yeah.
But then they'd have to, find it. It'd be a great photo shoot.
Well, I'm interested in seeing how much like space dust, debris, and all that stuff just makes it look like shit after a couple years.
Yeah, and clean that. Wash me. Alien.
Yeah, wait, aliens bedded on it?
It was the car was cool. Actually, it was more impressive to me to see the two breakaway rockets landing simultaneously back on Earth together, like some sort of choreographed dance.
It was incredible.
Mind blowing. I mean, I'll never know how it felt to be my mom and dad watching the TV as Walter Cronkite's yelling at them about people landing on the moon and shit, but pretty close.
Yeah,
I guess.
No.
You gotta make it exciting.
Sure. I mean, I was watching and I was like, that is impressive.
We're gonna launch Target's surplus CD inventory into space.
The entire Columbia House collection is going to be up there in space for aliens to listen to. I hope Elon left a CD booklet with all of his favorites in the passenger seat.
Oh, forgot it!
Damn it! All my Earth, Wind, and Fire tapes.
Aliens
and
are gonna
CDs.
find the car and they're gonna like grab it out of the glove box.
Criminal aliens.
Yeah, criminal aliens.
Yeah.
They need to build a space wall.
I'm sure it's coming, Elliot. But anyways, before we get to the other part of this show, we do have a sponsor this week, and believe it or not, it's Google. So yeah, this is awesome. When you're building an application, you need it to be fast, secure, and always evolving. With Kubernetes Engine on Google Cloud Platform, developers can deploy fully managed, containerized apps quickly and easily. Google has been running production workloads in containers for over 15 years. So this is not new to them. Yeah,
they build the best of what they learn into Kubernetes, the industry-leading open-source container orchestrator. Kubernetes Engine combines automatic scaling, updates, and reliable self-healing infrastructure with open-source flexibility to cut down development cycles and speed up time to market. To learn more about Kubernetes Engine, visit g.co/GETGKE.
If you're in the market for that, please buy it from this show.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't know what a lot of that meant, but happy to have it as a sponsor.
And if that appeals to you, by God, we're proud. Please support the show by firing up the Kubernetes engine. All right, now let's get in. Let's check in with Phil Arrigo about justice being served up properly for those in the tech world who do very bad things. What's that? Oh, no justice? Justice is a lie? Okay, Phil. I'm all ears.
Let us know.
All right, let's get to the tech parts. There's a bunch of big people who did a bunch of real bad stuff and kind of completely, totally got off easy. If you didn't hit your head, you might remember that last year Equifax, they're a company who handles all your social security numbers and stuff for credit agencies. Well, they had a breach on nearly 143 plus million Americans' info. Real private stuff just got leaked to whoever has it now, and we still actually can't confirm exactly who has and who hasn't. Well, guess what? Head of Consumer Financial Protection Bureau Richard Cordray ordered an investigation last year, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna take these bastards down. We're gonna sue them. They're gonna go to jail. All those people who sold that stock, get out of here. But in November, after we kind of knew that Trump was gonna come in with his own people, he resigned, and Trump appointed Mick Mulvaney to take over this position. And everyone's like, well, you're gonna have to be pretty fucking stupid or just pretty fucking corrupt if you're not gonna, take down Equifax, or at least try to. And Mr. Mulvaney has not ordered subpoenas against Equifax or sought sworn testimony from executives. The most rudimentary routine steps when launching a full-scale probe, and that's kind of what this whole thing needed from top to bottom to find out what was going on with old Equifax. And what probe was in place? That he was gonna look into what the day-to-day, on-the-ground operations of how Equifax was protecting data now and how going forward has officially been put on ice, which is a really bad way of saying they're not pursuing this anymore. So this is a real big bummer because I stood here real lit up, and Ricky and Elliott stood here too, real lit up amongst other people like John Oliver everywhere, because basically Americans all over did absolutely nothing wrong and did zero things to earn their data being leaked in this giant breach. And right now, Trump administration, his appointees just going, not even slap on the wrist. He's kind of looking the other way. He's like, I'll be in the car. So, all right, you're saying that's America. Who cares about that? Well, last year, Lee Jae-yong, former head of Samsung, was arrested for using millions of dollars in payments and gifts to motivate / bribe then South Korean President Park Geun-hye. So essentially what was going on here is Samsung is a very, very large company in South Korea. And they wanted to get some things done. And guess what? The money and gifts worked because the president approved a merger that greatly benefited Samsung. This was such a big deal that when this story broke, the president was impeached, was removed from South Korea. And it's not just her who's out of the way. Guess what? He's kind of off the hook after spending 4 months in jail. So yes, not the politician out of her position. Samsung guy, he's out too, literally out of jail after 4 fucking months. And he's just on probation because South Korea is notoriously soft on white-collar crime. Why do you think this would happen with Samsung? Well, they make up nearly 20% of the country's exports and nearly 15% of their economy, even though in an 8-0 vote, they took the president right out of office. So this is a real bummer. And again, America's corrupt, and South Korea and the UK and England, whoever you want. I'm sure there's going to be corruption everywhere, but these two instances are really egregious ways of people being screwed or people being not screwed because they're rich or they're really not rich. So again, wherever you are, the mantra that I say is that you got to vote. You got to vote to put people in power who are going to hopefully make the right decisions. And a lot of times the people with a lot more money than you and me, they can maybe buy some people or influence some people, but you just got to go out there, and it might seem futile, it might seem really small, but we've got some reps here in California. Adam Schiff, if you ever hear him in the news, him and Trump butt heads a lot. Little Adam Schiff. He's a guy that I support, and there's other people, Elizabeth Warren, who I think are doing a great job, and all that kind of stuff. And again, you might disagree with my politics, but if you do, you know what? You can go ahead and you can vote for people you believe in, and they can help carry out your agenda while I carry out mine. We can work for something. And I would say that's a wholesome after-school special rap fact.
Oh.
You know what else is a rap fact? I'm not nominated for anything at the Source Awards this year.
Boo.
That's a rap fact.
In other tech news tidbits, Elon Musk might be trying to figure out how to get us all to Mars. But down here on Earth, us normies just want to be able to beat the traffic. Mm-hmm. And one interesting solution to that that's possibly on the horizon is passenger drones, which are basically big quadcopters that you sit inside of that get you across town like a taxi in the sky. Mm-hmm. Now, over the last week, Airbus conducted a successful test of their Alpha 1 air taxi, though that test was apparently just to see if it was even flight-worthy. Involved just taking off and landing with a person inside. But it was a success, and Airbus is a legitimate company.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Much more impressive, though, was a new video from Chinese company EHang, showing their EHang 184 actually flying around in various test scenarios. It's pretty cool to finally see this thing in action. Yes, it's going to be a while before I ever step foot in any of these things.
I will let the people of Dubai be my test subjects.
Yeah, they're supposed to be getting it pretty soon, so there you go. They say they've now conducted thousands of test flights, and it's becoming a lot easier to believe that this is something that people will actually be riding around in someday. Like we just said, last year, Dubai announced that they were going to be working with EHang to create a drone taxi service for their city. And at the time, it mostly seemed like a publicity stunt, but now it wouldn't be surprising at all to see these things flying around all over the skies of Dubai in just a few years. It's literally a city full of skyscrapers, so if any city could actually use this in a efficient way, it would be Dubai. So maybe New York, but I mean, you can't fly anything around New York anymore with the restrictions next to Trump Tower.
True.
So,
speaking of ideas that we've learned to be skeptical of, but would love to be pleasantly surprised about, smart glasses. Mm-hmm. Google already showed that it was possible 5 years ago with Google Glass, but that was really just a dev kit, and the idea never caught on, mainly because wearing Google Glass made you look like a jackass. Mm-hmm. The basic concept never went away, though, and now Intel's the latest company to unveil a smart glasses concept. It's called Vaunt, and The Verge recently got an exclusive look at it, and while it's still a weird idea, the execution is much more impressive and unobtrusive compared to previous concepts.
Now, it's mainly because it looks like a pair of glasses, and not whatever Google Glass was, or the numerous other things that do smart glass technology that look like you're in a sci-fi movie.
A bad sci-fi movie.
Yeah. The sides where the computer is stored, they're pretty thick, but it lacks an actual screen in the lens. Instead, it's using a completely new concept involving a low-powered laser that shines onto the inside of one of the lenses and is reflected directly back into the user's eye. To outsiders, this is only visible as a small red dot from a specific angle, and for the user, it means you won't even be distracted by what's displayed unless you look down in the specific direction that the laser's coming from. It's a unique idea.
Got that laser right in my eye, fam. Fucked me up.
Yeah. I always thought it was dangerous, but here they went and found a solution.
Safe lasers, clean lasers.
Clean, beautiful clean lasers.
Beautiful clean lasers.
Yeah.
It's still, as cool as it is, it's still hard to see a reason to need this, since all the current use cases for consumers are just for stuff like map navigation cues and seeing your notifications without pulling out your phone. All useful stuff, but not really worth most people wanting to invest hundreds of dollars in something they've got to wear on their face all day long.
Yeah, even the smartwatches didn't really.
Yeah.
They were picked up for
useful,
a while,
but it's just like at the end, I forgot to charge it, and then.
Yeah, I went swimming with mine, and that was the end of that.
Whoops. But I mean, hey, as we always have to point out, this kind of tech would be really useful for people like surgeons and pilots and whatnot, unless those jobs get replaced by robots too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the developer, the Intel guy that the Verge guy talked to, made a good point. He's just like, when the first smartphone came out, no one was thinking, oh, I'm going to use Uber on this.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, it's a phone that can do other stuff. So when you create something like this, like the most useful aspects of it come later once you've sent it out to developers.
I'm still completely on board with this as long as they put a high quality camera in it somehow and it doesn't end up looking like Snapchat and recording in like a 360
This
thing.
one doesn't have a camera. I'm sure they will add it eventually, but right now
it would be convenient to like tap and take a picture or something instead of getting out of your phone. Or a cool concept would be if it's like constantly like maybe recording in 10-second loops and then deleting itself, and then if you want to save something that just happened, you tap it. Be interesting.
You mean like Snapchat spectacles?
No, they're not constantly recording.
Oh, they're not?
No, you have to tap it and then it does like a thing. But anyways, that's it for this week's show. We want to thank this week's sponsor, Google. When you're building an application, you need it to be fast, secure, always evolving. With Kubernetes Engine on Google Cloud Platform, developers can deploy fully managed, containerized apps. Kubernetes Engine combines automatic scaling, updates, and reliable self-healing infrastructure with open source flexibility to cut down development cycles and speed up time to market. Learn more about Kubernetes Engine by visiting g.co/GETGKE. It'll be on the description as well. Please watch other shows. We have a brand new episode of Tugs. The Doc is back on Twitch.
The Doc is back.
And we also talked about all the Superb Owl ads and trailers on our live stream from Monday morning. Check both of those out. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.